of course, you take odd jobs to try to, to pay the rent. And one of those jobs was I was driving strippers to bachelor parties. What I have learned is you can learn anything. Some of it's going to take a little longer than the others, but we have the ability to learn anything. I don't want to, at this point, to be running from anything. I want to sit in it. I want to feel it. I want to get through the rough night.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like 9 to 9. For my top 10, top 10, 9 to 9. This one's for my top 10.
Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and this channel was created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know there's something more inside you too. You have Michael Jordan level talent at something. So get ready to do what you love, don't run from hardships, and become a learning machine with Brad Pitt and my take on his top 10 rules of success to give you the confidence, motivation, and belief that you need. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule #1. Do what you love.
I grew up in Missouri, Oklahoma, Missouri, and I loved film. I had this profound love for film. My folks would take us to the drive-in on summer nights, and we'd sit on the hood of the car, and he would take us to see Clint Eastwood movies. What I'm saying, R-rated movies, even though we're very young, we'd go see what my dad wanted to see. But I just had this profound love for storytelling, this medium that shows us other cultures, places I'd yet traveled, and places I wanted to go, or said something better than I could say it, or helped me understand something. I think it's just an amazing thing we get to do. We're so complex. We're mysteries to ourselves. We're difficult to each other, and then here's this storytelling that reminds us we're all the same, and I consider it such a privilege. But it started with a love from growing up in a very small, contained environment, and film was expansive to me.
Rule #2, don't run from hardships.
You've been through some fairly public, sad things recently. You've been divorced, and publicly, you then spoke about what it was like to go through one of these things that not many men talk about, and many men don't think it's okay to get help for certain things like alcohol and other kinds of substance. And you spoke without revealing the obvious confidential nature of Alcoholics Anonymous about what it did and what it gave to you. Can you tell me, so that other people, who are in that kind of situation might get a little bit of a boost from somebody like you if they need that kind of help?
I don't know. I mean, certainly for me, what I realized was I was running to things to avoid tough feelings, painful feelings. I just didn't know how to deal with them, and looking for anything I found that I use for escape, to escape those kinds of I guess difficult feelings. I don't know how better to describe it. I mean, that can be anything. That can be drugs, booze, Netflix, snacks, anything. I don't want to, at this point, to be running from anything. I want to sit in it. I want to feel it. I want to get through the rough night. And I found in doing so, you come out the other side with a more profound understanding of yourself, a greater gratefulness for those in your life, and the birds and the trees and everything else.
Rule #3, be a learning machine.
Redford came along. And said, "Can you fly fish, son?"
Not really. Actually,
What did they say?
A friend of mine, Dermot Mulroney, we loved the script.
Yeah.
So we went out and made a tape of doing some of the scenes. We had a friend of ours shoot it and sent it to him to get in the door.
First, you had to learn how to fly fish.
Yeah, well, that's one of the perks of what we do. We get to pick up something usually on every film, and what I have learned is you can learn anything. Some of it's going to take a little longer than the others, but we have the ability to learn anything.
Rule number 4, keep reinventing.
What's the secret to staying relevant, successful, and influential for 25 years?
Whew, you want to take that one?
No, you.
Because I have no idea.
Looking at you.
I would say luck. I'd say a little bit of luck, but I also trying to reinvent. You know, constantly trying to look for something new, something different, and I, fortunately, I guess we were able to survive our mistakes along the way, and I think just staying relative.
Also, if you want to have more confidence and self-love, check out my 254 series. They're free. The links to join are in the description below.
I was excited about taking a shot. The fact that it was so strange.
I have a tremendous amount of love and compassion for everyone else.
Once your technique gets to a certain level, the only thing that separates you from others is your quirks.
Rule number 5, seize every opportunity.
When I first moved out, I did not know a thing. In fact, if you're ever feeling bad about yourself, go see some of my early stuff, because I did not know a thing. And of course, you take odd jobs to try to, to pay the rent. And one of those jobs was I was driving strippers to bachelor parties, and I basically had to, get them there, get them back, play the music, catch their clothes so the guys didn't steal them, get the money, and out. Anyways, I did that for like 3 months, and it was a really interesting job. I learned a lot. And I decided, okay, I got all I can get out of that. I shouldn't be doing this anymore, and I called up and I said, I'm going to quit. And the guy said, okay, no problem, but just give me one last night. You got to work Sunday night because I'm in a pinch. And I said, okay, I'll do that. And there was a new girl that night who happened to be dating an actor. We talk in the car, you have your conversation. And she's telling me, and I didn't know any actors. I didn't know anyone who knew any actors. And suddenly this woman said she knew this actor. And she was starting this acting class. She was going to take this acting class that he told her to go to. And I said, what's the number? So it was a complete serendipity. I find Roy London, who was just such a lovely force in my life at that time.
Rule number 6, surround yourself with greatness.
How do you pick the films that you do? How do you decide what you want to do next as an actor?
Well, for me, it depends a lot about, who's telling the story. It usually starts with a script, a good piece of writing, and the decision to go investigate that. And then I want to surround myself with filmmakers I respect, because we are ultimately putting ourselves in the director's hands, and then you have a real freedom to go explore, to go out as far as you can go, and you're in really good hands. So. And at the end of the day, I don't know about you, but after doing it so long, I want to do it with friends and people I like, and that seems to be more important, the people I surround myself with, than anything else.
Rule number 7, put everything on the table.
How are you influenced, and how do you factor in this sort of rather, what appears to me a remarkable marriage and peace?
Same thing. We always called it an exploration as well. And
the marriage itself.
The marriage itself. And Jen and I have been where we've succeeded most at getting everything on the table. That's been our law at home. It's been about our only law. Everything has got to end up on the table. It may take us a little while to get there. And there's a great freedom that comes from that. And we've become better friends because of it.
Just put it on the table.
Yeah, it's got to get on the table, no matter how uncomfortable it is. It's got to end up on the table.
It's so true about everything, isn't it? It is so basic and simple and fundamental.
That's right. And
about living, about your own analysis of yourself, about everything.
That's right. And I'm telling you, it's freeing. It's freeing in the end. And because we love each other, it can be accepted.
Rule number 8, find a balance.
How do you balance, or how do you really combine artistic integrity with commercial success? Because that's a huge pressure on both of you, I'd imagine.
I say you just have to make sure you get time for yourself, time for your friends, time for your family. and let the next idea percolate. It's not so difficult to achieve a balance. I'm able to compartmentalize pretty well the private life and then the public life.
Rule number 9, stay true to yourself.
When you first get opportunity, suddenly you get surrounded by a lot of people who want to make money off you, but also, are there to help. But they'll start telling you so much of what you need to be or what you need to do in some kind of, to maintain some idea of career maintenance. And when you start out, it's very discombobulating, and you are ill-defined at that point as far as direction. What stories are personal to you? What are so there's two things here is what I'm saying. I'm saying at that point I wish I knew more just to follow what was interesting to me, because man, we're actors. We want to tell stories. We want to tell personal stories, and not just that something you could plug any one of us in and basically get the same thing. Get into something that's really personal, that means something to you, something that you have something to say, something that's really individualized. And I wish I was more aware of that then, instead of doing a few things that I was told would be
supposed to do
good for me, and they weren't. Because it left me empty. So I didn't do a good job anyways. And I think that's the key to what we do. It's gotta be personal.
And rule number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is have fun.
I gotta add this to my Tinder profile. Thank you, my brothers, my sisters. This means so much, more than I can possibly fathom. I want you to know I watch everything. I watch you all, and the work has been mesmerizing, so I thank you. I want to thank my co-stars, Leo, Margot Robbie's feet, Margaret Qualley's feet, Dakota Fanning's feet. Seriously, Quentin has separated more women from their shoes than the TSA.
Set. And act. Now he's going to do what he's never done.
Okay.
Now he's going to do what he's never done. If you picture it, it's going to make it worse.
Yeah.
Use it.
Don't say he's now going to do what he's never done.
Just use it, Brad.
Okay.
Seriously, use it.
Okay. Don't say that line.
Now I've got a special bonus clip from Brad on how to find your direction that I think you're gonna enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. Let's go from just watching a video to taking action. Here we go. Question number 1. What does balance look like for you? Number 2, how can you better surround yourself with greatness? And number 3, what's the hardship that you need to stop running from? And if you made it this far in a video and you are committed to making a change, I want to celebrate you. Give me a hashtag believe down in the comments as well.
Where do you think you are in terms of some sense of enthusiasm for it?
For acting?
Acting, yeah.
For acting? I got a new Jones for it. The 2 years, you need to go away from it, or I needed to go away from it to fill up again. And I got a Jones for it again here with Troy.
how do you think? How did that happen? Because you're kicking into another zone too.
I need to incubate. I need to sit for a bit, and ideas start coming, things start forming, and I find direction, and that's always the most exciting time to me. Like direction, by that I mean a line to follow, and that's how I equate it with any of the arts. When you find a line, you find something that you start following that line because it means something to you. You don't know where it's going, and that's certainly how I equate it to acting as well, as trying to find something in the characters.
If you want 10 more rules from Will Smith, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
Like, I want to be valuable to humanity. 40 was cool, 30 was cool, like 50 was like, whoa, man, we need to jump out a helicopter or something.